guys? OG Merpay here with you. New and improved layout. I've got my new acoustic door up behind me so that, my partner can have a bit of relief from our D&D antics. I have the party in the other chat. We're going to do recap. We're playing our normal Wednesday night game tonight. Nothing special, no one-offs. The real deal campaign. I am excited. Let's get to it. Okay. As per the usual, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves. But I guess we can do that after recap. Who wants to take care of recap?
You guys, or do you want me to run through it?
In a minute, so I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go off of what I remember.
I'll fill in the holes. I just watched the episode, so I'll fill in whatever you miss.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, basically the one lizard dude, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, he was with us camping out. We wake up, horse is gone. There were 2 horses. Mary actually had a smart idea for once.
Yeah, she did.
Used her talking to animals ability to talk to the horse, figure out what happened, and then chased after him, leaving behind Art and Tim, who had to kind of walk, basically. Corbin also went with her. She gets to Woodhurst, goes straight to, the Woodsman's Guild, and it's, kind of greeted there. Her hips give out because she's old and fat. But basically explains to them what's going on. And then there is a dispute over the second horse because Lizard fucking McGee would not tell Mary where that horse is. And because she didn't have the contract, which, my bad, I was a big idiot, I found my other sticky note. I did have the contract in my titties.
It wasn't with Art?
No.
Or Tim?
No, it was with Mary because she made the deal. I was told it was with Tim or Art. And then I looked on my sticky note list after I found it because it went missing. And the copy of it that was made is in Mary's titties.
Wow.
That
might have changed some stuff, but I mean, they were pretty point blank with you. They're like, we don't really deal with these types of disputes.
But basically, and as we know, Mary has anger management issues and was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you dumb ass lizard. I'm gonna turn you into alligator boots. And he's friends with the dwarf. The magic guy, I don't know his name, but guy who's kind of the main magic dude is like, okay, fuck this. Knocked Mary and Corbin out with a paralysis spell, so we couldn't move. We got tied up, covered up, got put into the dungeon with the shit bucket. While all this is happening, finally Tim and Art get to town, and they don't know where the fuck Mary and Corbin are. They ended up in a dispute with the racist tavern, got chased into the other tavern run by Gakaw. Gakaw kind of had to slyly let them stay upstairs, but not really publicly because Tim is a big baddie right now, and not in the good way. And basically, Tim and Art disguised themselves, and now Tim looks like Mr. Clean because he does not have a mustache. They ended up sneaking out, getting to Charez's, telling Mary that the boys are gonna come get her and Corbin because they now know where she's at, along with Corbin, and that, they're gonna look a bit different because they kind of fucked around and had to disguise themselves. Corbin and Mary were able to untie themselves, tried to open the door, magic shit happened, the main magic dude comes down and is all like Snooty Pants McGee about it. Mary makes a deal with Snooty Pants McGee by giving her wedding band to him and saying, if you let me and Corbin out, I can get you an artifact, and this is a guaranteer of it. You can keep it until I get you the artifact. And then he made the comment of well, once we locate where your friends are, because he's looking for the journal with the locations of the goblins, because it briefly got mentioned when talking about the goblins, that it had to have been a location. And yeah, that's all I remember.
That's a pretty dang complete list. You missed some proper nouns. The name of the lizard folk is Jocks. The name of the racist...
Jocks, there you go. I remember it kind of being French.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Jocks. And then the name of the racist tavern is the Shaded Chestnut. Jakaw's Chat Tavern is the Rusty Hand Axe. But otherwise, yeah, there was. I mean, Mary wasn't there for it, but the boys had a brief interaction with Farid, and Tim, had a little moment with Miko. Um, and Tim also was able to remember that Charis had told them that the mark he gave them allows him to track their location as long as they're like close enough to him for him to be able to do so. And Tim, said, "Okay, well, where are they?" And he told, "Oh, they're somewhere near the Woodsman's Guild." And he asked. Then you did mention that he asked to send you a message, and I believe that message was something along the lines of, "The boys want you to know they're coming for you, but they look a little weird, so don't be surprised. And good luck. Thank you." And like that was pretty much the message.
Yeah.
And you would ask, "Can I respond to it?" And with Chariz's magic, no, there are like message spells which work as back and forth,
Yeah.
but that's not what this is.
Kind of question.
Yeah.
With the one spell Mary can use to talk to animals, can other animals talk to other animals, or is it like a rat can only understand a rat, but so a rat couldn't talk to a horse?
It's
In like his
the way
world.
that I run this world is that if you were looking for useful information, yeah, like they don't communicate that way. But if different animals were around for the same event, they would just have like different perspectives on it. And they can probably transmit like, "Hey, there's a dangerous thing over here. Hey, I'm freaked out." Or, "Hey,
Yeah.
follow me to water." You know what I mean? Like basic nature shit. But I don't think they could like convey, "He was an orc about 6 feet tall, wearing a green tunic," and a rat's not
Yeah,
going to be
that's what
able
I was
to.
thinking. Like my only plan I came up with Mary was if I do get a chance to use the animal talk to a rat to tell the horse to go let Tim and Art know that I have been put in prison. Because
Uh,
that's the only shot, unless one of them comes in and saves me.
yeah, I personally am really curious to see how it goes tonight.
Yeah.
The only other thing, there was a cliffhanger ending, which I remind the gentleman of, that Tim had asked Charis, you know, "Do you have anything that could improve on our disguises?" And Charis said, "If you don't mind the taste of milkwort,"
Oh
and
yeah, they
went
got
up
potions.
and made you guys a little potion you do, and gave it to the two of you. Now Tim had asked, or rather, Andreas had asked me, Dave, the DM, a question about mechanics on, because we've already had one experience where, he was walked through the process by Charis, but he took, a spell that Charis knew and like translated that into a potion, and was able to craft a potion of that spell. And so, along these lines, I did some research, and the short answer seems to be, if you want to deconstruct the potion with some downtime and roll a check to see if you like have what it takes to learn it, to you don't fuck it up, because you only get one chance while you're deconstructing it. Because that would be the rules for a crafting. Same thing on the crafting. Like I told you, oh, you can just craft potions of sleep now. There is an arcana roll associated with that to see whether or not you successfully create them. And the only instance where you created them so far has been under Chariz's aid. So we'll say we waived that because you had an expert with you. But just know mechanically for your character, when you want to craft potions moving forward, there will be an arcana roll equal to 5 plus half the spell's level plus something else. And so, it'll average like 10, 12 probably. And you'll have to pass that to do it, to create the potion successfully. Otherwise, you waste the time and materials. And then the amount of time it takes is directly correlating to how much the potion costs monetarily, and the threshold is 250 gold. If it costs 250 gold or less, you can make it in 2 hours. And you got to pay, half of the component cost or whatever. If it costs more than 250, it's 1 day for every 1,000 in the base price. Because a potion of disguise is a 300 gold coin potion, I'm going to just scale it and say, it takes 3 hours for you to craft a potion of disguise. Should you successfully deconstruct one of these potions to learn how to do it yourself? That's a 3-hour process and a roll, and it costs physical gold, which represents the materials which go into it. So it costs you 150 gold to make it. It'd take 3 hours, and you'd make a roll to see if you could make one of these after you've deconstructed it successfully. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. I try really hard to do all that research in between sessions so that we can come back, I can just info dump on you, and you can be like, great, I got it in my notebook, and we can move on. So, Charis had told you guys, hey, here's your potion of disguise. Think really hard about what you want to look like, and don't miss any details. And that's what you'll look like for, he said, a few hours. It's 10 minutes per caster level. Charis is a pretty high level caster, so we'll say, between 1 and 2 hours you guys are gonna have this, but there is a little bit of a polyjuice potion effect, you're not really sure when it's gonna wear off. And Charis just said, yeah, a couple hours, and so Art was Daniel was thinking about what he wanted to transform into, and so we specifically cut it so you guys could take some time figure that stuff out. But I think
Daniel turns into a big titty vixen.
But I think that now is as good a time as any to get back into that. Jennifer, if you will excuse us for a moment while we start with the guys. You're not really going anywhere in yourself.
Oh yeah, no,
So.
I'm in playing on the Plumbottom. We're fine.
So, but you got Corbin to keep you company. You guys can play
Yeah,
patty
me and
cake now that
Corbin
he's
are
got a
playing.
hook. You're teaching him
Yeah,
to play
it's
patty cake without impaling you with his hook. It's cool.
He's
It's cool.
beating on the bucket of shit in the corner. Mary's pulled out a Veronica. They're just jamming.
I'm here for it.
They're trying not to get killed by the Rat King that kind of lives in one of the corners.
I'm super here for it. Okay, so then we will cut to Artemis and Septimius. If you guys would just real quick introduce your characters for anybody who's picking up halfway through here. Why don't we start with Tim?
All right. So Tim is a human alchemist with a very high dex score of 7.
Extremely
that is the
high.
most important thing to know about him right now is that he has a hard time hitting stuff.
Cool, love it. How about Art? Tell us about him, Artemis.
Art, he's a human rogue. He's not the brightest tool in the shed, but he does have a lot of heart. He's a very strong boy. He's the muscle of the team, and yeah, he just kind of does what's right in his mind, I guess.
I love it. Just so that I don't forget later, Mary, why don't you introduce your character who's off screen in a prison cell right now?
Mary is a 180-year-old big titty gnome with anger issues, and I feel like that describes the character.
That's great.
F-Cup.
And you guys are mobbing with F-Cup, big titty businesswoman. You guys are mobbing with Corbin, who is a half-elf of not really sure what age. He doesn't even really know how old he is. Escaped contractee with one arm. He is primarily a commoner, but I have granted him 1 or 2 levels in fighter because of his experience fighting with you guys. Whooping bandits' butts and fighting wargs and goblins and shit. So, he's earned a couple levels in fighter.
Don't forget, our boy got a hook now.
He got a hook now, and you guys got him some leather armor from the bandit lighthouse early in the campaign. So you upped his AC a little bit, made him a little bit more survivable. You guys have been taking care of him, being good stewards to your local NPC. Okay.
Didn't kill him.
Didn't kill him. So circling back, Art and Tim are at Chariz's tower. They've just been handed a pair of potions from Chariz, who has relayed a message on your behalf to Mary, informing her that you guys are coming for her. He's let you guys know she is in the vicinity of the Woodsman's Guild, handed you these potions, and he now stands before you And let's see here. For time of day, oh shoot, I don't really have that in my notes. Mary got there earlier. I was listening to this tape earlier. You guys were going to get there at like 4 in the afternoon. You were going to go straight to Charles's, but you didn't because you got distracted with your call. You had to wait for a little while to figure your plan out. We'll call it like 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's about dinner time. And Charles is going to look at you guys and it's about supper time for Reed and I. Is there anything else I can do for you guys?
Just so, for clarity's sake, if we were to say that we were on a mission from you, and that we knew that they were holding Mary and Corbin, do you think that would hold water to help us get them out of there without any violence or problems?
And you know, Charles is gonna look at you and kind of like squint his eyes, and well, what makes you think there's trouble at all? They could just be sitting in the lobby. I don't. And then anyway, no, we don't really have dealings with each other. They have quite a bit of influence in town, but so do I. And he like puffs himself up. And he's like, and I really don't have any need for their services. So, I don't think so. Maybe. Like kind of shrugs.
I just wanted to throw that thought out there. And Tim's gonna like turn to Art and be like, "You ready to go?"
Yeah, let's head up.
Cool. Where you got here? Let me games. Brunswick, top down.
This
Okay.
is off topic. I have found I can make music with my nails.
You guys are in Charles's Tower, and you're trying to make your way to the Woodsman's Guild.
And I'm thinking like plan is go the way we came in. Least amount of people go this way.
Okay.
And the plan is to basically have a conversation with Art while we're still in the forest.
Have a conversation with. I'm sorry. Who? What?
With Art while we're still walking through the forest before we reach the town.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds great. You guys can have your dialogue, and now that I have your route, you guys can just kind of autopilot until you get to the guild.
Okay. As they leave the tower, Tim is just to Art is like, okay. He said he has some influence in town. I think our best bet is to just go in there, say, if they're just in there talking with them, we don't need to do anything. We can just pull them out and go. But it's a little fishy that they've been there for several hours. They aren't exactly the most patient of the group.
Yeah, it seems a little suspicious. I'd assume Mary would have tried to kick all their asses, if not.
Yeah,
Mary-
probably.
Yeah, Mary's been in there for a while. She either is dead or has fucked around and found out.
I know. Mary just hears, like,
Two
faintly whispered
possibilities.
out of the corner quietly, just like, Mary would have kicked their ass. In the corner of her cell.
Hey, it cut to Mary and she's like, I think they're talking about my ass kicking ability.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, what's it called? I always have to get back into it because I always lose my train of thought.
I know. I try not to go on the tangents myself, but you guys are pretty fucking hysterical sometimes. So, you guys were talking about Art. You were telling him, I think our best bet's to go in there, and if they're waiting, no big deal. And then Art's like, yeah, Mary's not real patient. She's more the ass kicking type. And you guys were right about there in your conversation.
I think it might work better if it's just you who goes in Art. No offense, but I don't know why I'm saying no offense. You're the better talker between the two of us, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, you're a good talker. You just need to know what to say, and this is what I am here for. I am the brains. You're the mouth.
All right.
Brains, you are the mouth.
Together we are unstoppable.
Together you are head. What up, done? Bam.
And there's our first clip of the night.
I think what we can do is we'll go in there, or you'll go in there, You can look for them, ask around, just try to play casually, see if they know where she is, and if not, let them know that, hey, we're looking for her, and we need some help with Chara. We need some help because we're on Chara's. I think if they deny that she's there, we can let her know that we know she's there because of our sigils. But if they don't, if they tell us that she's there, we don't need to give that up.
Yeah.
You follow me, Art? Do I need to draw this out for you on crayon?
No. No. No, I'm good.
Damn,
Thank you.
Tim's getting cocky.
I know.
Tim's
Sassy.
getting cut to Mary. Oh my gosh, I think Tim's standing up for himself.
But okay, so I think that's gonna be the best way of getting through this, without causing a stir. These these potions here that we got, they're great, and I want to save them if we can. We don't want to use them unnecessarily.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. It's casual. Let's see.
Yep.
And then
Really casually.
All right.
Just walk in, lean up against the banister, and be like, "Hey, fools, what's up?"
What up, Holmes? What you doing?
Just do your art thing. I think it's at least we're not going to cause any more problems. Because that's the last thing we need right now.
Worst case, take your shirt off, show them six packs, and hope someone's gay.
All right. Got it.
Okay. All right. I think this is a good course of action. Obviously, worst case scenario, something happens. It's going to be on you. It's going to be on you to figure it out, because I'm not about to throw bombs in a building and cause a fire.
You're not gonna be the Unabomber?
Okay. Everything good? Everything squared away out here?
Yeah.
All right. And I think at this point, they're coming out of the woods. They're walking forward, and I don't. If there's anything else that needs to be said, that it can be said, but I think they're just gonna head straight for the building now.
Okay. So just make your way through. You pop back out from, between the Rusty Hand Axe and I want to call it Barthen's Provisions, but that's the other general store. This one is Flint Brooks This and That. That's the name of this general store. So you guys pop out, about there, and make your way across the courtyard to the entrance of the Woodsman's Guild. And I'm assuming that. Do you have any parting words for Art, or vice versa, before one of you steps through this doorway?
Art doesn't have anything to say.
If things go really bad, I'll be around the area, but try not to kill anyone.
Will do.
And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong!
Okay. So then I guess Art will just casually strut his way in. Oh no.
Oh no.
And he strolls right into it's just the Woodsman's Guild. You guys have been in here like lots of times. I just haven't had a fucking map for it, but I built one in
That's true.
Nice.
in Dungeon Draft. So let's see here. You guys are all off the board. There he is. There's the boy.
Okay, so this is the entrance.
Yeah. So there are two doors. Oh, I guess I'm a little bit off kilter here. Yeah, there are a couple of doors behind you in line with these carpets. So you've just walked in through one of them. As a reminder, this is a long chamber with benches and chairs lining either side. On the opposite side of the room, there is like a U-shaped desk with four seated individuals. From your perspective, from right to left, it is a bespectacled orc who has given you guys most of your contracts up until this point. An angry-looking dwarf, and then two human individuals. One that looks like he has an attitude problem, and another who hasn't contributed a whole lot to the proceedings up till this point. and it's very obvious that you're walking through the door, so you have an opportunity to make an impression here. They are all seated in their normal seats on the behind the desk.
Right. Art's just gonna casually make his way down. Shoot. He's gonna go in the middle. He's gonna take a deep breath. Hey, how's it going?
Where?
The orc like the orc like lowers his spectacles and like lifts his eyes up from his work and said, "Ah, I was wondering when you would arrive." And he like looks over your shoulder and he says, "Where's the other one?"
He'll be here momentarily, but I was wondering if we heard that our good friends Mary and Corbin were here at this were over here, and we're wondering if we can get them out to help out Charles with some very important business.
The dwarf, cuts in loudly. Aye, she's here. And the orc, is rummaging under the desk, and he pulls out a piece of parchment and sets it down on the desk and unfurls it and turns it over and like slides it across the desk to you and says, "Do you recognize this?" And it's if you glance at it, it is the contract that you guys signed for the Goblin Ears.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. That yes, I do indeed remember this contract.
And he points to Dixie's name and says, "And what's the real name of this person again?"
Shit. Art is gonna be like, um,
Do you know her real name?
oh well, yeah, but like
Oh, okay.
he's questioning of like whether or not like if you guys came in and like still kept with that name, or if you're still going by the fake name. But Art is just gonna be like, he's gonna be like, okay, look, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Yes, uh, those are fake names, and he's gonna bring up even myself. My name is Artemis, but I did not try to put a fake name.
Didn't you sign it Bartimus with a B?
And then I was hoping one of them would be like, and what is this? And then he's gonna be like, oh, well, what'd you know? I accidentally put a B in front of my name. Well,
God damn it.
I got so nervous. I forgot to spell Artemis.
yeah, it's kind of like a cover up, but he'll just be like, so yes, the real names of Dixie is in fact Mary Plumbottom.
And you see the like snooty human who is like doing some kind of other work, like set down his quill and hold his left hand out. And you see the orc hand the parchment to the dwarf, who hands it to the first human, who hands it to the human on the end. And he like takes it and very slowly, in kind of like a showboaty way, like tears the contract very slowly in half. And says, "You realize a contract has no value if you don't sign it with your own name, correct? You at least understand that much?"
Yeah, that is fair, and we do sincerely apologize for that.
And he, and the dwarf, again speaking, kind of out of turn here, is like, "Ah, Gnome didn't seem to be willing to apologize, or,
My God, fucking bitch.
like you're like, we apologize, like that gnome fucking didn't apologize."
I kind of figured, but I'm more than willing to apologize for our actions and hopefully to get them out of here to help Charles with a very important mission.
And what mission might that be? Look, and he just kind of flicks you a glance.
Is gonna Art's gonna say real wizardy type stuff. You see, I'm a simple commoner, which I'm not too familiar with it, but so I can't really explain it the best. But I'm sure once we get, if you can get Mary and Corbin out, they'll be able to explain it better.
Roll me a bluff check, but do it with advantage. So roll twice, take the higher result of the two, for playing on your personality as part of your lie.
Daniel, you
I'm just
better
a fighter.
roll
It's wizardy stuff. I don't fucking know. I gotta go do shit for him. Like, that's...
Daniel, you better
Yeah.
roll in the tower because the clicking is the curse.
What? Unless I just roll with my.
I'm about to
Okay,
say,
what
you
should I
roll
do?
however,
Tower
you
or
roll however you
actual
want.
die?
Tower, or do you want to use the dice I bought you?
I'll use the dice you got.
The honeymoon dice.
I feel like it's good luck to.
I will say, be careful. Last time I used mine to roll, I hit my ankle and it hurt.
Ooh, I got an 18.
Okay.
And.
That's probably going to be your highest, but you know, it could be a 19 or a 20.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh, no, I got 11.
Okay.
So
Okay.
18.
18 plus your bluff?
18 plus.
Oh. Sorry, let me check real quick. 9, so that would be a solid 27.
27. That's a great roll.
Dave, what's up, face?
It's not a good face.
Dave, you bastard.
Oh, no.
Dave, can you re-roll with disadvantage?
No, I can't. If I give him advantage and I roll with disadvantage, it was good. It wasn't that good.
Oh. Okay, he didn't roll a natural 20, right?
Well, natural 20s don't necessarily inherently mean successes or failures in skill checks. But I can tell you that, well,
Bigger than Daniel's or less than Daniel's?
okay. I can tell that his story lands with varying, responses across the board. The dwarf seems like skeptical, but like it's a small town. Everybody knows you've been coming and going from Charles's tower. That's plausible. The orc like doesn't really believe you, but he's like not gonna fight with you about it, and the other human's kind of in the same boat. But you have no idea whether or not your deception has landed with the snooty gentleman, and he says, "Well, then I expect you can work on multiple jobs at once."
Yes.
And he's going to say, "I've had a conversation with," and he's going to pointedly, drop his voice just a touch, "Mary." Names are a touchy issue with this group here. And so I've had a conversation with Mary, and I believe that you've said that you apologize. He says actions speak louder than words. And he's gonna he's gonna pull up the two halves of the contract, and he says you've already falsely signed one contract, and then he says, and I assure you, he says that could be a very big issue for you. And he sets both halves down, and places his hands one over the other on top of them. He says, however, he says I have a personal task which needs to be tended to, and I have spoken with my fellow councilmen, and they all, they're kind of nodding along, and he's like, and I have a job for you.
What might that job entail?
He says, Mary told me that your friend writes everything down in his book. Is that correct?
Ooh, the smart one?
And he pinches the bridge of his nose in between his eyes. He says, "Yes, the smart one."
Yeah, I always see him writing stuff in there.
He says, "There's a location in that book where Mary says you all interrupted a ritual of some sort."
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was a bunch of goblins, and they were sacrificing Charz's right hand man, Fareed. Uh, I forgot. I couldn't remember exactly what it was called, but yeah, I'm sure he wrote it down in his book somewhere.
And he says, "And there wasn't anything peculiar about this sacrifice."
Oh, there was a lot that was peculiar, but um, there were
God damn
like
it.
You
what?
guys sent Daniel in by himself, okay?
No,
I know.
during this whole thing, as he's stroking his beard maniacally, it's evil.
Oh no. If you want, I could go try to find Tim and see about it. Is that what you want?
And he like looks back down at his papers and just kind of flicks his hand. Go find him. And he's
All right.
back at work.
All right. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Before you leave here,
Oh, whoops.
Tim,
Yeah.
what is your what's your passive perception, bud?
8.
About a minute or well, I guess before I go into that, is there anything in particular Tim is doing while he's waiting for Art? Where's he standing? What's he doing? What's his plan?
He is, because, like, the thing is, like, he's across the street from what's it called? The Jaded Chestnut, so he's not chilling. And, like, he knows he's, like, all bald and wearing some of Art's clothes now, so, like, it's a bit harder to tell who he is now. But, like, if someone looks for too long, I'm sure they're gonna figure it out. So he's, like, milling about, switching locations every so often, just making sure, like, no one's eyeing him.
I love it. If you're keeping one eye on the guards in front of the chestnut, one of them seems completely oblivious, like picking his nose, just in his own fucking world. The other one looks like he's actually doing his job, and you catch his eye. You see him watching you from across the courtyard in front of the chestnut.
I think at that point, if he notices, like, him watching him or whatever, he's gonna switch positions to where, like, he's out of no line of sight,
Okay. You can hide behind the Woodsman's Guild, the church. You can hide behind the bakery, but you'd have to walk a little bit closer to them before you could do that. But the two closest buildings to you are obviously the Woodsman's Guild and the church. Is there somewhere in particular you go?
Woodsman's Guild. Like, because there's, like, a road next to it that goes out to the rest of the town, right?
Yeah, there's like a there's a road there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do that, because I think it's way more suspicious if he, like, goes off into the middle in between buildings and goes behind a building.
Cool. That sounds fair to me, which is all I needed to know. So, Art, you exit the building and don't see Tim.
Oh no. Oh no. I guess.
The
Alright,
top.
we'll try.
They're dropping like flies.
Oh,
Oh no.
it.
Alright, this is
what
bad.
happens
This
when
is
all
really
of these
bad.
He's, like,
Alright.
50 feet away, you just don't know it.
Okay. Alright, does Art have that tracker too?
Yeah, I mean you can't use it, but you have it. It's like a mark on your hand that Charge uses to track you.
Oh, okay. Art, I guess. No, but he knows like he shouldn't be shouting his name because of the guards that
all
were
you,
chasing
Art.
them earlier.
It's all you, buddy. Whatever you want.
I guess Art will we'll just try looking for him. Um, let's see, what are my options?
Literally anything you can imagine. The beauty of playing D&D is that it's an imagination game. The obvious choices are look for him with your eyeballs, look around for him, guess where he might be, go there, look for him, or stay put, knowing that this is where he left you, and assuming he'll come back here eventually.
All right, so I guess I'll try to do a perception check first and see.
Cool, give it a roll.
Just about the general area. Let's see. Show 11 plus 7, so that's 18.
You are looking around, and the first thing you see is not Tim, but the two guards outside the Shaded Chestnut. There is a clear line of sight from the front door of the Woodsman's Guild to the front door of the Chestnut. It's a big, like school, like courtyard type deal. But they both seem to be particularly distracted, looking at something in another direction, talking to themselves, kind of pointing up the road, which goes past the Woodsman's Guild up to the graveyard, and there are a few bodies out. It's the late evening hours. People are done with their work for the day, and the taverns are starting to fill up. Folks who have to buy their last few items at the general store are coming and going. So there are quite a few people. A dozen or so, 2 dozen, in the just in front of buildings, milling about, doing their business. But you do not see any sign of Tim.
Oh man. Okay, I guess Art's just gonna have a little inner dialogue with himself. He's gonna he's just gonna be like, all right, so you don't know where Tim is. Mary and Corbin are trapped in there. What do you do? They said they just needed Tim's book to look at the ritual.
I'm imagining
Yes.
Art just going like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
I guess Art will just go back inside and tell them that he'll have uh that he'll show up eventually. He just couldn't find him to the four people inside. Um and just wait there, I guess.
And the orc, who has been kind of the point person for all the business, the official business, kind of gestures to the benches on either side. Says, "You're welcome to take a seat and wait." And he says, "I have to drop a new contract anyway." And he pulls out his pen as well. And the dwarf is just kind of like mad dogging you. He's just kind of squinting at you. And the two humans are just kind of doing the work they got to do.
All right. So I guess Art will go and take a seat. No magazines.
No, there's really nothing I've noticed. It's like a huge empty chamber. Like the one thing that is like interesting about this is that there's the desk on the end. There's like a big brass pipe coming out of the ground that like goes into the next wall, and then
Yeah.
there's a door in that wall also. So which has there's more to this building, but you assume that these guys have offices somewhere or something. Like there's all that. But yeah, it's a big fucking empty room, not designed to be comfortable, like designed for business. Okay, so Tim, you are milling about, kind of behind, up the road. You pass the Woodsman's Guild, and you just kind of like wander. I don't know how far into town you want to wander away from the square.
Not very. He stayed within earshot of the
Okay, so I guess the big question for each of you is how long are you willing to wait for the other?
I would say like a good 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Tim was willing to hide up for about 30.
So you're hiding out for 30 minutes? That's kind of Tim's. If nothing else changes, he doesn't hear anything. He'd just kind of stay out of sight for about a half hour.
Yeah. But past that point, then he's gonna start figuring out what he.
Cool. Then I will go back to Art. Your 10 minutes is up. You've been sitting here quietly, trying not to so much as cough. The one time you had to sneeze, you looked up and saw all 4 of the councilmen like glaring at you. You've been like listening to the sound of like quill scratching parchment, like just echoing off this huge chamber. And it's been 10 minutes, and Art's getting bored.
Alright. Art's just gonna stand up. He's gonna stretch. He's going, I don't know what's taking this guy so long. I guess Art will go up to him and he'll say, "Is there any way I could just talk to Marion Corbin until Tim can arrive?"
And the orc begins to start like an apologetic. Well, it's not really protocol. And the dwarf just like, no, you cannot. And the snooty human says, get the book.
All right. Art will just kind of begrudgingly be like, fine, I'll try my best. Just know it may take a while. So I guess he'll go back outside and try to look. I guess now since a little time has passed, I guess I'll do another perception check if that's all right.
I'll give you the same results as the last one.
Okay.
Because Tim's still not here. At this point, the two guys. I guess I can roll one more check. One of them, you see one of them like look at you and like do it kind of a double take, like look at you again and then kind of like shake it off. And the other guard is being a guard.
All right.
If it does help, every so often Tim is just like coming by within like visual distance of the things to make sure that Art hasn't been waiting for him.
Excellent. Then to expedite this process, I will say that Art does see does catch a flash of Tim just as he's like turning back around to walk back up the road behind the Woodsman's Guild.
Okay. Art will go up to Tim. Not even like casually, just kind of like speed walking towards him. It's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing?
And Tim's just gonna like point to those guards over there at the shade. That's like I didn't want to stay around because it looked like they were starting to get suspicious.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What was that?
So I told you I was going to be around the area.
I couldn't see you. There's too many people. But anyway, okay.
Even if you can't see me,
Alright, anyway. So I was talking to them, to the people. What's the place called again?
The Woodsman's Guild.
I was talking to them in the Woodsman's Guild, and they were saying that they do have Marion Corbin. I apologize for them saying that we need them for Charles's help. They're saying that they would help us if we help them. They were needing to take a look at your book about the ritual. I don't know if that's something to be suspicious for though. But I told them that I would go get it.
I'm not super keen on handing. Oh, you said they were in prison?
Wait,
what?
He asked if he could see them. They told him no. That's all the information he got.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming.
What do you mean, like, no, that we couldn't see them?
I'm assuming they're like keeping them captive. Because I couldn't imagine Mary or Corbin, especially Mary, just being locked up just being in a room by herself without like putting up a fight. Like I don't think she would be willingly waiting for us.
So I'm not super keen on handing over the notebook to someone who may or may not be messing with Corbin and Mary, but I am definitely fine with showing them where it is.
All right.
And like Tim is going to flip through his notebook, and he's going to flip through those pages to where he has that thing, and he is going to take a really quick graphite drawing of it.
Okay.
And he is going to like look around, make sure no one's looking, and then like throw his book in a bush.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
Would I be able to run a perception to make sure no one's watching him?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check. And unless you're trying to hide this from Art, he's gonna see you chuck your book in a bush.
He's not trying to hide it from Mark because he trusts me. Oh, that's
Ours-
great.
Sarah hides
12 total for perception.
There are a couple of people around walking on the roads, but you guys are far enough off the main courtyard that, you know, like if anybody saw you, it was like 1 or 2 people passing on this road. There's not that many people around.
I guess he waits until they like not looking, and then he just like chucks it into the bush and be like, "Oh, this is all we'll need. They don't need anything. They don't need to know anything else that's in that book." And it's like he shows her like the drawing, the graphite drawing, which I like in chat.
Is that where Tim hides his sexy goblin drawings?
Ritual. Oh, I love it.
Hold on.
With like
There
the
is-
spine and everything. Oh, that is super gorge. Like that's. Look at that. Look at that. I'm lucky enough to have a player who like does on the fly sketches during our sessions, and it's fucking wonderful. That's great. I'm gonna clip that.
I think my favorite will always be the one where Miko was in the backpack with the pixie suit.
That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah,
And
that's
I'm
a
sad
classic.
that was not recorded.
Yeah.
But you know, he's just like you know, this is all we'll need to. Like he's showing the paper that has all the info like traced over, and be like chucks it into the bush, and then like, all right, let's go over there.
All right.
Cool. You guys just move your characters right on into the building whenever you want to enter the building. I see Tim.
Is in the building.
Art, you
Oh, yeah.
with him?
Yeah, in the building.
Cool. Okay, so you guys make your way into the building, and you know the snooty human doesn't look up, but the other 3 do, and the orc, the bespectacled orc, says, "Welcome back," and he says, "I believe you have something for the guild head here," and he like gestures towards the human who is like working on his work, but you can tell from his eye movements that he's not actually reading anything. He's just kind of looking at his parchment instead of looking at you.
Yes, my friend lets me know that before he can see our friends, you needed some info out of me.
And the snooty human looks up and says, "I need to corroborate Mary's story." And he's going to hold his hand out. The book.
I think you can understand why I'd be hesitant to hand over research. But I'm willing to collaborate with you if I know what this is for.
He says it's for the release of your friends. You're in
You know
no
what I'm
position to
talking about.
bargain.
All I ask is for a small olive branch.
And he picks his paper up and starts writing. "You're dismissed."
God damn you, Tim. Fuck you.
Fucking hell. Tim pulls out the paper. The paper that he had scratched on. Like, this is all the info I have on my notebook for this. And he puts it on the puts it on the what's it called, the table.
He glances at it and says, "A drawing means nothing."
Just so you know, also, like there's the drawing of like the actual thing. Under the ritual thing is a description of all the info Tim has on the thing, and then the thing is the map.
And I can appreciate that from a Tim taking notes standpoint, and it does not change his reaction.
This is literally graphite thing for my notebook.
And he's gonna glance up at you and say, "If you'd like to see Mary that badly, I can toss you in with her, or you can get me the book."
Art's just gonna kind of chime in. He's gonna be like, "Look, we did what you wanted. We got that information out of the book. You didn't say you wanted the whole book. You just said that information.
And
That was the
he
deal."
waves his hand and roll me a will save, please.
Huh?
Art. Plus your I think it's will is what it's called. It's like under your reflex and your fortitude. There's another save called will. You'll get to add that number as well.
Okay. So, oh, 11 plus 2.
You are mid sentence and your voice stops making a sound, and you can hear like, and you don't hear anything around you, and it's just complete and utter silence. And from Tim's perspective, who has a little bit of arcane knowledge, he can probably put two and two together and deduce that Art has just had the silence spell cast on him, and there is no sound escaping or reaching Art anymore.
While this was happening, would have Tim been able to like see if he could tell if there's like, I don't know, ulterior motives?
Oh, sense motive check? Yeah, for sure. You just got to tell me what you're looking for, though. Like ulterior motives, like what? Because he hasn't really told you his motivations. So, are you trying to determine if he has like nefarious intent? Are you trying to determine if he wants to hurt Mary? Are you trying to determine if he's in league with the goblins? Like, what are you trying to tune in on?
So obviously speaking, he's not going to accept, that graphite drawing, no matter, if it's like, picture perfect copy of the thing. So he's trying to wonder whether he wants the notebook to basically gloat over them to like, hey, if you want something from this, you're going to give me what I want. No ifs, ands, or buts. To like basically show his power, or if he's like wanting it for other reasons, like, oh, something else in there that I want.
Okay, that is a specific enough sense motive check. Go ahead and roll.
Use your fancy dice. Yeah. Our honeymoon dice. Don't hit your ankle.
I'm curious while he's rolling, Art, do you have a reaction to being silenced? Because like you can still move, you can still like try to talk, you still have like full control over your faculties. You just make no noise.
Sense motive is a total of 18.
It's a total of 18. I want Art's response real quick. Do you?
Sorry, yeah, I was gonna say something about eating pizza right now.
Oh, then you're good. Then Tim, an 18 tells you that you don't get the sense that he cares so much about the contents of the journal, but it is obviously, impossible to deny that he has very pointedly been asking for the book and not the information. Like, like you're saying, like, I have all the information you're asking for. It's right here on this rubbing. And he definitely does not seem interested in, like, the information solely. He did glance at that charcoal deal, and you watched his eyes kind of like scan the text real quick, and like absorb the information quickly, and so he is interested in this ritual, in like this process, in this page that you put in front of him, does interest him, but it doesn't. You know, you're not sure if he's looking for more information, or like you're talking about it's a power play, or if it's for leverage. Like you're not sure what, but you know he really does care about this for whatever reason, and you know he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that could be bothered to lie to you. Like it just doesn't seem to you like he would have any reason to want to do that.
Okay. Upon seeing that has been silenced, like it's like Jesus Christ, fine, I'll get the stupid book. Give me 10 minutes.
Or it's just gonna be like mouthing off like, "What the hell did you do to me? What the?" And like pounding his fist on the table, like trying to say stuff but he can't.
Right, and
So
like
just
you're
getting that.
pounding your fist on the table, like makes no noise. Like you're watching like the ink in the oh, what is it called, the ink cylinders, the
Inkwell?
inkwell. Thank you. The inks in the inkwell are like Jurassic Parking, with every smack. Like you're
Yeah.
like it's moving stuff, but just no noise. Your cursing is making no noise. Just absolute silence.
Uh, the
And you
yeah.
see Tim, say something to them and like turn around. Tim, are you gonna go gather Art, or are you just gonna go walk out the door?
He is gonna gather.
Before they leave, can Mary do something real quick?
From her prison cell, sure. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I cast? Hold on. Let me scroll down. I've been wanting to do this because it's mostly for funny and to see if they'll actually hear her. Can I cast Ghost Sound and use it as a sing check to like be singing like a prison song?
You can sing as much as you want, and a good DM will never make you roll for something that doesn't have a chance at success. So
Yeah, because like I have the sing skill, and I could amplify it more with the sound, that one sound spell she has, and I want to see if it would penetrate the walls enough for them to hear Mary going, "Ba-na-na-na-na, I'm in jail." Ba-na-na-na-na. Rats on my tail, just like singing along.
yeah, this is not one of those situations, unfortunately. But Mary, for flavor, you can sing you to your heart's content down there. Amplify your voice with whatever you want. Nobody's
Damn
gonna
it,
stop you.
be penetrating it,
What's that?
but they won't be able to hear it.
Not a chance.
Okay, never mind. I just wanted to be like, if I rolled really good and it worked, they can hear a very muffled, what sounds like Mary singing about a rat.
No, they are not. We're not there.
Never mind, I'm good.
So, Tim, you're collecting Art, who is pounding his fist on the table and yelling silently at the council members.
He's just like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'll get the book.
Are
I
you
just-
are you going with him?
Art can hear him, right?
No, it's you are also in silence, so you can't hear any of the outside conversation. You can like see that they're talking, but you can't hear. There's like a zone of silence around you.
Art's just gonna be mouthing off to Tim. What? I can't hear. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared.
And Tim just sees Art mouthing stuff at him, and Tim is trying to, like, Art sees Tim walk up to him and try and like usher him back out the door. Are you gonna wander with him?
Oh, if Tim is signaling him to come with him, then yeah, Art will go with him.
And as soon as the door closes behind you, the noise of the courtyard comes back, and you can your sound returns to you, your voice returns to you.
Art's just gonna, what'd they do to me?
You were silenced. I couldn't hear what you were saying. You weren't making any noise at all.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think think one of those dudes is a magic user.
Ah. God damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's another.
well. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you're good.
I was gonna say, well, what's the plan now?
I guess I have to get the book. I don't think they're gonna, back down that point. And before, I wouldn't do it, but at least, I could throw bombs and kill 3 bureaucrats. But now, they got magic users. I don't have that advantage. I think they gotta play by their rules for now, and fortunately reap the consequences.
Man, I'm sorry about this, but I mean, whatever you think is best to get Mary and Corbin out of there.
I thought you were gonna be like, well, I'm sorry about this. I think we should just leave them.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say that.
But fuck them. We don't need them anyway. We'll start our own band.
And I was about to be like, fuck you too, Art. In the distance, Mary. Fuck you.
I'm worried about what he wants that for, because obviously I gave him the information he wanted. That's not what he was all interested in. So
Yeah, he clearly wants more with your book, but I don't want you to give that up.
a lot of it is ecological stuff. I don't think they're gonna want. I really do think it's a bit of a power play.
Ooh, I have an idea.
What's the idea, Art?
What if we go and get a fake book and tell them that we won't give it to them unless they give us Mary and Corbin?
Oh,
We saw how that worked out. We couldn't. I tried bargaining the information to begin with. They did not.
I'ma die.
I'm gonna die.
But just hear me out. Like, we get them
Don't
first.
hear him out.
They get your quote unquote book, and then we have them, so they can't really do anything. You know, I think it would be a power play.
No.
We have 10 minutes. I don't think we can fake copy a book. I think and now this is a DM question.
Shoot.
Could that disguise potion be used on an object?
No, it has to be ingested.
Then let's just get a book. We don't even have to. We won't even show them what's inside. We'll just show them the cover and just be like, okay, here's the book.
Scheming bastards
He's
are gonna
not-
get me killed.
The thing is, they have to take us to wherever they're holding Mary and Corbin. I think they're going to look at that book before that.
We'll just tell them to bring them out here first.
They're not going to listen to us. They have the power here.
Dave, I had a fun time playing with you. Mary had a good run.
We'll see.
No.
Bathsheba will be fun too. It's fine. We're good.
Bathsheba will join us, or
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get them out. All right.
I don't think, or you have some ideas at times. This is not a good one.
Oh God.
I don't think there's any getting out of this.
Out of curiosity, can I just ask as a player, does Tim have anything like really inappropriate in there that no one should be seeing?
That's a question for Tim. And he does not have to answer it if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, if you don't want to, I'm just kind of curious if there's something in there that like would make this a bigger deal than it already is.
If we're talking smut or anything like that, no. I think the worst thing that's gonna be is like, a certain tavern member is like underline it like with like very racist. Like that's like the worst in terms of things you're gonna find on it. It is pretty
It's because from my understanding, the journal was mostly just Tim taking notes on alchemy stuff. We found goblin thing here, and then just occasional drawings of Miko and the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify so it isn't like, oh yeah, there's like full-on smut in there, and if they find out, we're gonna get like turned into like jail. We're gonna go to not safe for work jail.
Yeah, my fantasy world's not like super sex positive, but a little more sex positive than our real world is. So you'd be okay, depending on who read it, I guess.
It'd probably be like, why does the goblin have such big titties? But okay.
But between this point, he's walking, he's grabbing the journal out of the bush, and it's like I don't.
Tim,
Yeah, I don't.
roll me a perception check, please.
Shoot,
Oh shit.
regular dice.
I want pizza now, Daniel. Damn it.
That's really bad. A total of 11.
You are going to grab the book, and you catch like a glint of metal in the bush also. Like separate from the book.
Tim looks at that metal.
Oh my god, it's at Mary's ring.
Stops reaching for the book and looks at that metal.
Yep. It's like half buried under like, dirt and debris and stuff.
I guess like get some of the start like digging, start moving the dirt to the side.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
What's up, Sancha? One of my fellow Friday night players has just hopped in the stream. He's a great guy. He starts, Tim starts to, move this dirt to the side, and, his hands start to fall along a smooth surface, and something catches, and he looks at his hand, and it's a fucking splinter. And the bush that Tim hid his book in was partly obscuring a trapdoor for like a cellar door behind the Woodsman's Guild.
You best believe, Andreas, you're getting snuggles tonight.
Oh shit.
I love that. Oh shit! Yeah, that's great. All right, cool.
You get.
Dude, oh.
Okay. We have 10 minutes.
Wait,
Yeah.
could Mary use her voice thing now?
You have no idea that they're
Oh,
anywhere
damn
near
it.
you.
Or how about, okay, do you want me to buy you some time?
Give the 10
May-
minutes. I think.
Well, how about I just tell him he ran off with the book. He betrayed me.
He betrayed
You guys
me.
have to go after him.
Slap the
He-
shit
he-
out of him, Tim.
Like I'll tell them he ran towards the cemetery.
Art, why are you trying to
That is the
kill?
road. That is where the road dumps off. Yeah, it's a cemetery.
Okay. Wait. Here you go, Art. And Tim is going to pull out a bomb.
Remember, they go inert as soon as you're no longer touching them.
Oh,
Yeah. No.
oh no.
He's
Oh,
gonna.
no.
Shit. Never mind.
No.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Art.
Me too.
Yeah.
You guys could both go down there. It's not like this is gonna take a 2-hour trip.
You never know.
We don't know that. We don't know if there's like a whole cavern system down there.
You don't know,
Yeah.
but like one of you could like duck in real quick instead of going and bombing people.
Okay. Art.
Yeah.
We are going to wait for close to the 10-minute mark before you back in there. That way we buy as much time here as we need.
Okay.
I am going to hit you
Okay.
the butt end of the mace.
What?
No.
It's going to hurt a little bit. You need to tell them. You need to tell them that I got the thing, and then I hit you and ran off.
Oh no.
But you need to tell them that I ran in another direction from this thing, so we can get out of there.
Where would that be? The cemetery or would you say south? Would be opposite.
We're fucked.
No, it's fine.
No, we're not.
Fine.
Not. This is like when you know how like when they tell parents not to intervene sometimes, like the kids gotta learn their lesson.
Oh,
This is how
that's being a DM. Is all right.
No.
These kids gotta learn.
I'm feeling that inner mom. Like I'm not a mom, but I'm feeling that thing of like, oh no.
This'll
I'm gonna have
work.
to let you put that penny in the outlet, aren't I?
Have faith.
Have
I don't
faith.
have faith in you. No.
No, well, whatever. Andreas, you have faith in me, right?
Doesn't matter who Mary's got faith in. She's locked up in a cell somewhere.
Yeah. This is our
Yeah,
best
but
chance.
Daniel, as a person right now, my faith in you is slipping.
Tell him I pushed you down to the ground.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Tell him I just pushed you and ran.
Okay.
Give me
well,
those 10 minutes. If I'm out in those 10 minutes, do not go in there.
Okay.
Stay out here and keep a watch.
Until the 10 minutes is up.
Or if you see them.
Okay.
Or if you see them coming out.
Okay.
Did you guys tell them that you were only going to be 10 minutes?
Yes.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Very specifically. That's why I can't. That's why I can't. That's where we're a little stuck. That's where we're a little stuck here.
I know, but I think if you came back in like 15, they're not going to be like too pissed.
No,
That's
but
up to
them-
up to Art and Tim.
It'll
I
make them
know.
vicious, I think. So 10 minutes is what we got. All right.
10 minutes. If I'm not out, you go in there, tell them I ran off
All right.
in a different direction from this, so they don't see that we found their hidden thing.
Okay. Which.
Did Tim grab the book?
Yes, he's grabbed it.
Okay, you grabbed it. Okay.
Okay.
Before Tim is going to inspect the thing for traps, if he can. I don't think he can, or would that be an art thing?
You can't, but you can turn to Art and say, "Hey, does this look like it's got a trap on it?"
Art, I need you to let me know if this thing is trapped.
All right.
Make sure it isn't gonna blow up in your face like the other doors have.
Dude, that hurted.
Yeah, you're fucking asshole DM trapping all the fucking doors.
All right. So I'll do a. Whoops. Let's see. Trap finding. I'll just do the in-game dice. Come on. God damn it.
Okay, at least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
almost top half of the dice. It's the very top of the lower half of the dice.
Let's see. Oh, dirty 20 because my perception trap finding is
I'd say
10.
you should have you're a rogue that you should be fine there. So dirty 20. Yes, you do see a tripwire that is associated with this, like tied up with the latch system, and yeah, there's for sure a trap here.
All right, can I disable it?
You absolutely can. I forget what the rules for that are. I think it's disabled device.
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Disable device. It's got a DC.
Ooh.
How much is your? How many points are in that, Daniel?
9, so it'd be 16.
And you go to, you're following the wire, and one of the pieces of your disguise like falls out of place, and you like lose your focus for a minute, and you like blink back into focus and hold your breath, and nothing seems to blow up yet, and you pull the wire off the loop, and you got to stretch it a little tighter before it'll come off, and it loosens, and you get it. You get the trap disarmed.
Oh, okay. All right. It's all you, buddy. 10 minutes.
You guys have been out here for 3 or 4 at this point.
Okay.
Oh. It's like 7 minutes.
Okay. Tim is just gonna go in there, and he's going to.
Wait.
I guess.
Wait, did you hit Art yet with the mace?
He's not gonna hit him. He's not gonna hit him.
No?
No.
But then what?
He has 7
okay.
minutes. He thought he had 10. There's less time for that. You can
Alright.
you can make it convincing enough.
Yeah, you can also just say he ran off and looked for the book.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
Tim, you go to pull on the door. It does not open. It's locked.
Fuck no. Art, I still need you to unlock this door.
Oh.
Maybe Art should go down the cavern at this point.
That's another disable device check to unlock the door
Okay.
with your thieves' tools.
Come on. God damn.
What'd you roll?
Oh,
You rolled
A 2. Oh. So that would just be 11.
You do get it unlocked after 5 minutes of messing with the lock. But it does finally, after 5 minutes, snap unlocked, and you can get the door open. But at this point, it's been about 8 minutes since you guys walked out the door.
well, I guess Art will just be like, okay, look, we're running out of time. I'm just gonna tell him, you told me you were gonna get the book. You ran off in the other direction, and I haven't seen you back. Sounds
Sorry,
like
I had to
fun.
do something real quick.
Oh no. Did you hear that or?
The door has been unlocked.
But it took him 5 minutes to do so. So you guys have about 2 minutes left on your original 10-minute timer.
Okay.
Art's just thinking, all right, here, you go look for them. I'll just tell him you told me that you're gonna go get your book, and that you ran off in a hurry. And I'm just gonna tell him I've been waiting. He hasn't came back yet. I think he ditched us. Sounds good.
Maybe.
All right. Or should I say that you pushed me?
Tell him either your choice between either telling him that or telling him that it's not where it was. I don't know. As Tim's gonna drop down into the thing and start going in.
Okay, so
Okay.
Art, you are now on your own. What you lose sight of Tim? Where do you go? What do you do?
Art will then kind of go back to the entrance, I guess.
Like pretty much
Uh,
immediately?
Not immediately. He's gonna like take his time to kind of wait till the 2 minutes just to buy him enough time
Perfect.
or buy Tim enough time.
That's what I got.
Or he's gonna try to cover. Can he cover up the trapdoor with like some shrubs or like just so they don't get suspicious?
Yeah, you can spend your couple minutes doing that if you want.
Okay.
Whenever Tim dropped down, you see like a half second later, you see him just throw the book out.
The trapdoor opens back up, the book slides out, the trapdoor slams shut again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have the book.
Yep. You can do with it as you wish.
Okay.
But Tim gave you no instruction. He just tossed you his book and disappeared back behind the trapdoor.
Alright, Art's just gonna put the book in his pack.
And take your 2 minutes to cover this all up?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Guano sounds good right now. Freedom and Little Caesar's Pizza.
You cut out for a minute, and for a second it sounded like what you said was, guano sounds good right now.
No, I said, want to know what sounds good right now? Freedom and Little Caesar's Pizza.
Oh, it's a maze.
Okay, so Tim, you drop down.
I don't see nothing.
You drop down a short ladder. You guys don't see anything?
I don't.
No, I see the stairwell.
Oh yeah, you should only see the stairwell as of right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will try to keep my camera controlled so that you guys may want to. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna stop reading my camera to you guys.
Aww, we don't get to see your facial expressions.
Just for a minute, just until I can get this up, and I hope that one day I'll be able to figure out a way to keep it so that like my screen and the screen you guys see are different screens, but I haven't quite got that far yet. Okay, so you can see this stairwell in front of you. Let me go ahead and objects, saved objects, wood hairs characters. There you are. Okay. You drop down this ladder. It is, it's only about 5-6 feet a drop straight down. and you turn around and your eyes adjust and you look and it's like obvious that there's a stairwell going down, like deep underground, and it the it like there's an opening to the left basically. Looks like it just dead ends. There's an opening to the left at the bottom.
Going to pull out a torch so that he has light, and then go down. Because either 2 minutes. Either he gets caught by them coming in the check, or he gets caught by.
As you make it to the bottom of the stairs, you can hear the sound of like a fire crackling, and the sound of two voices speaking with one another.
Shoot. At this point, then Tim just put a torch and starts trying to hear what it's from.
So you're putting out your torch?
Yes.
Okay. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, you can see that the area opens up. There's like a pipe which comes through the wall and goes back into the ceiling. There is a door, basically straight across to your left by that pipe, and there are a couple of tables with chairs, which are currently empty. And it sounds like there's a half wall in front of you, and you can see that it opens up. There's no door. It's just kind of wide open. It's like a huge archway, and the sound appears to be coming from that side.
Are they dudes, or is it Mary and Corbin?
It is not Mary and Corbin.
So Tim is going to. I guess roll into sneak and try to go and try to go up to the wall and peek over, see if he can see him.
So roll in the sneak first. You were making me nervous by not rolling into sneak, bud. I was really not going to be excited to get you got because you forgot to roll into sneak. So
it's not going to matter. It's not going to. Let's see.
Come on.
It's 1, but let me double check if I can re-roll.
Are you untrained in sneak? Because you have your worldly thing.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. That's what I'm using.
Okay. Sancha says, "Live dangerously."
I have a -3. I think even with another reroll, that's still pretty dangerous. Total of 11.
Woo,
no, 10.
A 10. Okay, all right. And you want to peek?
Oh, no.
And you want to peek around the corner there?
Just a quick peek.
just a quick
Only
peek.
you had a potion to change your identity.
That's interesting. Okay. So you glance around the corner. Delete. And you see what is obviously a large workshop area. You see a large, the glow of a large forge, and you see a couple of workbenches with tools up on the wall behind them, and sitting at one of the tables, you catch a glance of two men, a human and a dwarf, sitting talking with one another over a table of something. You weren't sure. You only glanced.
Okay. So there are two very real possibilities that I am thinking of doing right now, and I'm not sure which one I want to do.
Okay.
These are just stand-ins. They're not actually the dudes.
Yeah. There is the very real option of Tim is gonna nope out of there because he is not a stealthy character, nor is he a charismatic character. And that's that one. And then there's the pulling a Friday night game situation and pretending to be Mark.
Ooh.
Who the hell is Mark?
Ooh. Oh man!
Oh wait, vegan walnut.
Vegan
Yes,
walnut
it is.
Mark. Yep, that's the same guy. And Sancha's in that game. How do you like that, Sancha? We're getting a vegan walnut reference in my Wednesday night game. Oh, that's fucking
my
great.
God.
I love that.
Wait.
It would be so.
Wait, do you have the disguise potion?
Yeah, I have mine.
Who are you gonna disguise yourself as, baby? Because I think we have to go vegan walnut.
I think it'd be one of the head honchos.
So Snooty McGee?
One of them. Okay, there were 2 humans, and there was
Dwarf and
dwarf and orc. Tim is going to use his disguise potion.
Okay. Please cross it off your inventory.
Yep.
This is fucking great. Oh my god.
And turn into the snooty human.
Okay. Please roll me a disguise check.
Oh, fuck.
Can I give up like one of my points so he can re-roll?
If you want, absolutely. Inspiration
Okay,
is
I'll wait.
transferable.
I'll wait. How good of a roll did you get?
Still rolling.
Oh. Okay, good dice time. Which dice are those, hun? Oh, the ones I got you. That's nice.
We missed your final over here.
He hasn't rolled yet.
Oh.
Suspense is happening.
Suspense.
What's that?
It's building.
It's
What is that? What is that?
It's below 10.
Okay, you get my point. You can re-roll.
Okay.
What? Okay. Yeah, great.
It was going to be like 6 total because with the minus to disguise.
Got you.
Oh.
You just have to make your choice before I announce the results. So sounds great. Go ahead. And,
Okay.
Go ahead and
Total
roll.
of 14 now.
Total of 14.
Yes.
Mhm. That's better than 6.
Okay. Obviously, you're no longer in stealth because you have like transformed yourself via potion, and you have done your best to recall every detail of the snooty human, and you now like looking down at yourself, your garbs have changed into what you remember him wearing last time. You know, your thick leather satchel has been transformed into like a supple cloth, purse inlaid with, green and gold, the colors of the guild. And you're feeling pretty snooty.
Got snooty booty. His ass became flat.
But I'm gonna cut you here because it's been about 2 minutes. So we're gonna pick up with Art at the end of his 10 minutes, and these events are gonna be running simultaneously because you guys have split into 3 separate fucking groups.
I know.
You're only 3 players, so you're all. But we're also gonna take our break just a touch early tonight. I know we usually take it, like 8ish, but we'll take it a little early because this is just a good opportunity for me. I gotta turn my AC up. I gotta refill my water. I gotta grab another beer. So it is 7:40 on the nose. We'll call it 7:45. We'll come back.
All right.
Cool. All right. See you guys in a few. In 5.
Oh god, this is gonna end so badly.
No, I have faith. Don't worry about it.
Need a brush up on my snooty McSnooter, Tim.
I think it's the
How
best-
fluent are you in snoot? That's the question.
Snoot, snoot.
Becky! Welcome. Thanks for hopping into the stream. You are cool. Yeah, we were taking a 5-minute break. We only take one on Wednesday nights. One quick fiver.
It's our tinkle.
It's our tinkle break. I have to go grab another beer, and do the thing. Okay, so
Am I creating Inuyasha as a tiefling?
that would be kind of cool, I think. Okay, so to recap for Becky, who was just hopped in, and for I think after break's a good time for just a mid-session recap. You guys had started this session with Mary the gnome and Corbin the half-elf being held captive by the local woodsman's guild after Mary threatened the life of Jocks, one of the lumberers, over a dispute they had over a horse, which does rightfully belong to Mary and company as of this moment. But unfortunately, she did not remember she had that contract until she was already in the cell. So, you know what, Becky? Hang out. We'll do our best to entertain you. These guys have gotten themselves into a pickle because those two are held captive. There are two other members of the party, Artemis and Septimius, both humans. One's a rogue, one's an alchemist. Tim, due to some previous stuff, is not on great terms with a lot of people in the town. They think he summoned a necromancer, and that kind of freaked him out. Art is like this lovable brute who, he's strong, but also sneaky. He's good with a set of lockpicks, and not so good with the words, with the smart making. So they sent with the two of them left. Art went in and had a conversation with the guild heads who have their own agenda, and they were really interested in this book that Tim carries around with him, where he writes everything down in relating to a ritualistic sacrifice because they saved the wizard's compatriot at one point from ritual sacrifice to the goblin god Hadragash. And Mary had made a comment about that, from her jail cell, talking with one of the guild heads, and he was very interested in receiving an artifact from Hadragash somehow. So cut to this session. Art, talks with them. They say they want the book. He goes and finds Tim. Tim, understandably, does not want to give up his life's work, essentially. And so he takes a quick, he duplicates the relevant pages and then stashes his book in a shrub. They go in. This does not fly. Silence gets cast on Art because he's getting kind of mouthy. And Tim relents. It's fine. I'll get you the book. And they, go out. And while Tim is digging through the bush, looking at the book, he catches a glint of metal. And, he reveals a trap door. He reveals an old cellar door, which they think to check for a trap, which you gotta love. They found one and disarmed it. High five for the rogues. And Art, Tim had told them, okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes with the book. But it took him 8 minutes to get through the lock and down into the cellar. So Tim has just spent a couple of minutes down there. He's discovered there are a couple of individuals down here, but he has a potion of disguise self, which he has just taken and assumed the form of the snooty human, as he's been referred to, one of the guild heads, or the guild head rather. And he's downstairs in the form of Mr. Snooty, but Art was only going to wait a couple minutes, and then he was going to go up and try and stall. I'm not sure what his plan is, but he's going to go in. He does have the book. The original plan was to say Tim ran off with the book, but Tim ended up giving it to him at the last minute. So now Art has this book. He knows that Tim disappeared down into a cellar door, does not know what's down there, and is about to walk back through the guild doors upstairs. Give me a second, I gotta save this map. Save game, Woodsman's Guild, player shenanigans. Okay.
Oh, quick question.
Yeah.
With magical locks and stuff, can you use a disabled device to unlock it?
Yeah, Becky, it was some chaos for sure. Yeah, I last session had to actually stop halfway through when Mary did the death threat on Jocks because I had to like figure out how this super powerful council of the Woodsmen's Guild is going to like react to some adventurer threatening one of their lumberjacks' life over a horse. So yeah, it's been some shenanigans. You could not use disable device. It's use magic device. That's why that is a separate skill of use magic device. Is because the idea is a disable device is for mechanical stuff, and use magical device is for magically infused stuff.
Where would use magical device be?
I doubt very seriously that you have it, that you've skilled into it, and you can confirm that by tabbing over to your skills and scrolling down near the bottom, and it would be down there, and I'm sure you have 0 points in it.
Yeah, I have. It's a total of 4 though. I just haven't put any skill points in it.
Yeah, so it's not a trained skill for you, so it won't populate on your list until you put at least 1 point in it. But because it's getting your like wisdom modifier or your intelligence modifier or something like that right now. So, you know, you could try is the short answer, but like you're not a caster, you can't like dispel magic. You only have like a little bit of inherent no magic amongst yourself. So without some kind of like device or potion or scroll or tool to help you do so, like your regular thieves' tools aren't enough to disable a magical device, if that makes sense.
Okay, and then I can't use magical device without having a skill point.
Right, and even that would be, you know, because use magic device is there's a duality there. It's for utilizing stuff yourself and also for destroying things. And for destroying stuff, I would just ask you, well, how are you doing that? And because I don't think you have a tool right now to be able to. I don't think that's in your toolbox to be able to handle that. But Art, you are a couple minutes have gone by. Tim has not reemerged from the trapdoor, and you have kind of meandered your way back around to the front of the guild hall after recovering the trapdoor as best you could with like dirt and debris.
Okay. So then Art is kind of thinking like, okay, how am I gonna plan this out? He's gonna punch himself in the face.
Oh God.
Cool.
And so like kind of make it loud enough to where like they'll hear a little bit, if that's possible.
I mean, it's a big stone building with like a heavy door. They don't hear a whole lot that happens outside of their building.
All right, then Art will he'll still punch himself in the face. Take one for the team. He wouldn't know any better.
Cool. Go ahead and roll damage for an unarmed strike against yourself. Just the damage. You're gonna hit.
Okay, that's a D4.
It'll say on your character sheet, unarmed strike by your daggers or whatever. It'll be like in that
unarmed. Damage 1d3 plus 1.
Yeah, so it's a D4 plus 1.
Nice. 1.
So 2, because you got your plus 1. So go ahead and mark yourself down 2 non-lethal damage for yourself. And your cheeks swelling up a little bit.
Hold on, I just gotta write that down.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright. So then, okay, alright. Kind of crying a bit. And then he's gonna like kind of go disgruntled, like kind of, running kind of towards the door, but like kind of slipping and tripping over himself, trying to open, like just pushing it open, still kind of like fumbling. So like act like he's trying to get in there in a hurry.
Okay.
And he's gonna go, and he's gonna go, just kind of trying to catching his breath. So he ran off with the book. I tried to talk to him. I was just saying, hey, just give it to them. And he said, no, my research is too important. He punched me, and he made his way off with the book.
Roll a bluff check with advantage. You punched yourself in the face. You did your homework.
All right. I don't know. The freaking game guy's been screwing me over. So, here I'll do this one that Andreas gave me. This blue one. Come on. Ooh, 16.
Is the highest of your two results?
Oh, I get to.
You get two. It's advantage.
Oh, the other one was 8. So
Okay.
16.
So 16.
And then plus. Oh, sorry. What was the modifier?
Bluff.
Oh yeah, bluff. 16 plus 9. That's 20. 25.
That's a great roll. The orc and the dwarf, you know, are like shaking their heads, seeming to, consistent with believing you. Like, oh, ran off with the book, The human, the lesser human, is just kind of like eyeing the guild head, the snooty human. And the snooty human just kind of, you just catch his eyes narrow slightly as he looks at you. But he doesn't say anything.
Oh, okay. You're saying, he punched me in the face. I think he went. As he's gonna kind of point, Art's gonna point towards more of the entrance, kind of over there. It's
Like
he
Chariz's
made off
tower
that.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna say he made off that way. I just couldn't. I thought I'd let you guys know for backup.
And the snooty human, like, says, I thought he cared about his party members more than that. That's a shame. As he continues his work.
So Art's like, you guys aren't gonna do anything about it.
And the snooty, human says, he'll bring me the book when he's ready for his friend back.
Art is just gonna be like, basically telling them to, all right, screw you guys. I'm gonna go after him myself. And just because that's all he could think of. Just not draw attention. As long as they think like he's made off, that'll at least give him at least more time.
Cool.
So, yeah, Art will just be like, but as he's running towards Angus, he's just gonna be like, damn, I really thought they would get up and chase after him. Just freaking, just regretting punching himself in the face and everything.
When you walk out the door, what's your perception stat before you add anything to it? Or before you roll your die, I guess.
Perception is 7.
7. You get out of the courtyard, and you're like, oh man, you're like rubbing your face, and then some like, you get that like feeling of somebody like looking at you, and you like slowly raise your head and your eyes up, and you see both of the guards in front of the shaded chestnut just staring you down. They haven't moved yet, but they're just looking straight fucking at you.
Oh, no. No.
You see them whispering to each other. You see one of them point at you.
I guess. Oh man, this sucks. This sucks.
Hey! And they start walking across the courtyard.
They start walking. Art.
Yeah, it's that punk from earlier. Hey!
No.
And they pick up their pace.
Art's gonna book it.
In which direction, Art? Where are you headed?
I guess towards the direction he was saying Tim was running off towards.
And you just book east, past all the houses, past the town crier, and you like get up to like Chariz's, like the edge of Chariz's forest, and you turn around and look behind you, and the coast does appear to be clear. But you are now a little farther away, and it's gonna take you a minute to get back.
All right.
Before I switch to Tim, Mary, Corbin turns to you and says, "Do you think they're gonna come rescue us?"
Working on it.
It's been a long
Mary's
time.
gonna look at him and be like, honestly, no. They're stupid.
They were only a few hours behind us. They should be here by now, right?
Like, Mary gonna take a goddamn nap.
And Corbin's just still talking to you. He's like, "How long have we been down here?"
Mary's taking a nap.
He's like, "I'm kind of hungry, and that shit bucket doesn't smell very good." And Corbin's just kind of like, it's like becoming clear to Mary that this is probably like a survival mechanism from him, like spending time as a contractee. Like he's probably spent some time in solitary as punishment for various crimes. And he just like immediately like turns into a chatterbox and starts talking like to you, but when you're not responding, he's just continuing to talk to himself. He's like,
Yeah,
"I wonder
Mary's
how far underground we are. It does smell kind of
Yeah.
wet, you know." And he's
She's
just
just gonna go to sleep. She's done.
okay, that's fair. Then Corbin's just gonna kind of she'll doze off to Corbin just chattering to himself. Okay, great. All right, Tim. You have just taken your potion of disguise self. You are standing around the corner from a couple of individuals who are in a workshop of sorts, one human, one dwarf. You have done your best to remember every detail of the snooty human, and you now have somewhere between 1 and 2 hours as him.
Just to double check the sleep spell, or the potion of sleep, it needs to be cast immediately. Does it need to be cast immediately after it's used? Or can it be held on to?
I mean, it can be held on to for a reasonable amount of time. We'll say, a few minutes. You could hold on to that.
Tim is going to ingest the last of the potions of sleep to basically have it in case something happens.
Okay.
And he is going to step out and attempt to speak with these guys.
Attempt to speak with them. Okay, go for it.
Just before I start, what are they doing?
As you step into full view, you can see that they're like, hunched over, they're like comparing the quality of their metalwork. Like one of them has an axe head in his hand, and the other one has like a pair of tongs. They're like pointing out the like impurities in the metal and like the any like metal burrs, or they're having like a big dick contest basically with who's the better craftsman. But as soon as the one who has his back to the workbench, who like who could see you clearly, he like puts everything down and he's like and he like kind of straightens up and like elbows the other guy, and the other guy's like, "What?" And he like kind of points over his shoulder at you.
Hello. I see we're admiring each other's craftsmanship.
Half a second. I need to double check my notes for just a second here. You guys are in Runeswick. Okay. Okay, yeah. So one of them. So you say you guys are admiring each other's craftsmen, and they just say, yeah. What are you doing down here? Aren't you supposed to be upstairs with the other council members?"
I decided to take a small break, and I wanted to speak to our 2 prisoners that we had down here. Hogan would have come, but he was deep in his work as usual.
Nice. Roll me a bluff check with advantage for dropping Kogan's name.
nice. Net 20 for a total of 19.
For a total of 19. I guess their sense motives. They're like, yeah, and they just kind of like gesture like back behind you, like into the room, like the big room that you just like walked through, and they're like, we won't stop you. Let us know if you need anything from us.
Very well, then get back. I expect to. I expect that you'll get back to work promptly, and like as he starts walking down the way they indicated, which I think was this way, right?
No, they indicated like back over your shoulder. And now that you're not trying to be stealthy, and you can like actually kind of take a look around, you can see that like you turn around and you see this room has like a big wooden platform with like a drain grate around it, and up on the platform are a bunch of like wooden kegs, holding various fluids. You can see that there's a hallway which extends down in this direction. You can see the pipe, which you now know is the exhaust from the furnace, because you could see the furnace on the other side. You see a door here leading into some space, and that's the space you've got here.
Okay, so right here is a room of some kind, correct?
It's a room of some kind, yeah.
Tim's gonna take just a peek in from like right there.
You go to jiggle the handle, and it does not open. And Mary, you hear the handle jiggle of the door that you're in.
Hey, is there a keyhole?
Actually, you don't hear it because you're asleep. So Corbin
Yeah.
wakes you up and says, Mary, somebody's at the door.
Okay. Is there a keyhole on the door?
There is, yeah. But it's not the kind you can see through.
Can you look through it?
No, it's not the kind you can see. It's got a plate.
Okay, Mary's gonna walk over to the door and just sit there.
Tim, the door has not opened, but you did hear like a faint muttering coming from inside.
Tim is going to like look at the door and see if he can like find some way to unlock it.
The door looks like every other door you've ever come into contact with. It's got a couple of hinges and a lock and a latch. And if you could undo that lock, the latch would come open. Or you could break the door down, or you could burrow under it, or you could maybe somehow go through it. But yeah, man, that's not something you're trained in, my friend. You got no tools for that kind of business.
Mary not hearing anything, can she just say like what?
There was somebody at the door. I heard the doorknob jiggle.
Mary's gonna knock on the door, like, dun 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 dun, and see if anything happens.
Okay. Are you doing the whole thing, or are you waiting for the answer? Because that's a call and answer knock.
She's gonna just call out first to see if someone responds.
Yeah, and you hear like a muffled voice coming through the door. Sounds familiar.
Okay, Tim is going to knock on the door a few times.
Mary, you hear knock, 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 knock.
What?
And so if you're yelling, it comes through, but it comes through muffled. So you hear just a muffled what? Tim.
You can tell that it's her, correct?
Yeah, you can tell it's Mary at this point, but she's very difficult to understand.
Okay, that's all he really needs to know, and he is going to say like, "I'll be right back to deal with you in a second."
Can Mary do like a check on that voice?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you don't have to. It sounds like the snooty human. I'll be back to check on you in a moment.
And she knows it's this, but like with all this weird behavior, can she do a check to see if she thinks it's like anything for, This is fucking weird.
Um,
Because why would Snooty Human jiggle the doorknob, knock on it, and then it's like not tell him, and then go, I'll check on you later?
I mean, not really. I mean, Mary. I mean, I can imagine it from her perspective. You're in a dark room, and you have a whole conversation with Snooty Human. He's the only voice you've ever heard through this door, and then you take a nap. Corbin wakes you up and says, "Hey, there's somebody at the door," and you say, "What?" You hear knocking and say, "What?" And you hear the Snooty Human say, "I'll be back to deal with you in a minute." It's like, yeah, you can think that's weird, but like you have no reason to believe it's not the Snooty Human. Hey, Trainmaker, what's up, man?
Okay.
Because like it changed him. It changed his like voice. Like he's
Okay,
him.
never mind.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, he's the Snooty Human right now. Yeah, long time no see, man. For sure. What's up? So I'm sorry, Tim. You're snooting.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be back to deal with you later. Your friend will be down in a bit. And then he's gonna turn back towards. Well, first he's gonna see if he can see any obvious keys lying around.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. Mary, you hear the Snooty Human say, "Your friends will be down in a minute."
Mary's gonna look at Corbin and be like, something fucking weird's going on.
And
Be
Corbin,
prepared to stab someone.
Corbin's gonna kind of like shrug and hold up his hook hand. I'm
Total
ready.
of 14.
A what?
14.
Nothing looks like a key. Hey, welcome, Ugly Face.
Tim
First
is
time
gonna
chat.
go
How's
back
it going?
towards the people and just be like, I wish to speak with the prisoners. Either of you would know how to unlock the key. I seem to have lost my spare.
And they like look over at each other skeptically, and like look back over at you, and they're like, "I thought you had the only key."
Bureaucratic stuff. There's always a second copy, no matter if you think you have the only one.
And they're like, "We don't have one. We're not sneaking it around. We don't have anything like that." They're like thinking you're like accusing them of like having a spare when they're not supposed to. And they're like, "Oh, we don't. No, we don't have a key. We don't know."
I'd be inclined to believe you if you help me open this door. We've come across some information, and we need to speak with the prisoners promptly.
And they look over at you, and they're like, "What? How can we help you?"
I deal with the books. You deal with creating weapons and such. I trust that you can open the door discreetly and quickly. We do not need to make that. We do not need this to the others to know. It'll create just a mess. I will take care of the matter personally, and I'll see it that you guys get a raise.
The dwarf looks at you. You mention a raise, and the human's like, "Oh shit," and he's like, "Oh shit, a raise," and and he like looks over at the dwarf, and the dwarf's like, he's like really looking at you now, and he like starts to stand up, and he's like, "I'm gonna go talk to Kogan real quick," and he starts like making his way slowly across the room.
I'm gonna take a second to think of what I want to say.
That's fine. You'd only have a second or two, but your character, it's one of those things where I try to, accommodate for, your character having knowledge that you might not, or experience that you might not necessarily have, and having that color, how they make their decisions. But he's like trying, and then the human's like looking at him, and he's like, and he gets it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, we probably should check with Kogan. That's probably a good idea. Yeah." And he just kind of like also stands up.
shit.
Maybe Kogan does have a key. Yeah, you're right. Let's go ask if Kogan has a key.
You there. You shall stay working. I will accompany you to go talk to Kogan.
So you're telling the human to stay, and you're telling the dwarf that you'll go with him to talk with Kogan.
I'd like to see the look on his face whenever he tells you that you slowed down this interaction.
And the dwarf's like, yeah, you don't, okay. And he just, he slows up, and he's like making it a point to not let you like too far behind him, and he like stops at the hallway and like glances over his shoulder and looks at you.
I'm gonna be following him.
Okay, so then from here, he starts heading down a passageway, which obviously, leads to stairs, and starts like making his way up the stairs.
So
there's like a large set of double doors.
Once he gets there, Tim is going to use the sleep spell he had ready.
Okay. It's definitely only been a few minutes. Does that spell have verbal components?
Let me double check.
Okay.
If it does, what are you able to do it under his breath?
I'll make you roll like a sleight of hand or a deception check or something for it. Because you're only 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away from the other dude.
Verbal BSM, so I'm assuming it's verbal, somatic, and materials.
Yeah, you got to wave your arms, say a word, and you've already done the materials. That's in the potion, but you do have to wave your arms and say a word while you do this.
A specific word or just any word?
It would be a specific word, but you can make it whatever word you want. And then they have to do like a will save or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. While you look up the DC, I'll make the roll. That's a 16.
Fuck. DC is 16. I think or what's it called? Yeah, the DC was 16 because it's half level plus the encounter, so 16.
Meet or exceed is how all of those wordings are ruled. So you definitely watch his body starts to like wobble, and he almost falls over asleep, and you like watch him like shake his head and regain control of himself, and he like turns around and like glares at you, and he starts Kogan! As he's, running forward to go, and he like pushes open these doors, and he's hollering for Kogan.
Yeah,
And the other human has come around here, and you can hear footsteps down the hall.
Oh, this is so fucked.
Oh no.
I didn't do it!
Yeah, no, I know. That's fucked.
I'll give you a minute to think about what you're going to do here. We are...
I think the jig is up for Tim.
Well, because here's what happens. I guess Art left. He's not here anymore. I forgot. He ran away. Fuck. So no. Then we will actually keep going with you because Art is far away.
Oh.
Oh my god, this is not great. Okay, so Tim, do you know what you're gonna do?
He's kind of fucked, honestly. I think. He is going to attempt to, I guess, maybe like run back and like go out.
Okay, the human is going to attempt to grapple you and stop you on your way out. He rolled a 15 plus a CMB, is probably
Yeah, he
higher
got
than your
it.
CMD.
Yep.
So he's got you, and he's holding on to you. The dwarf has like disappeared through the doors, and you hear the sound of like multiple sets of footsteps. You hear the sounds of like chairs scooting back rapidly, faintly off in the distance, and this human is like holding you down. You know, he's like pinning you in place and being like, "You're what's his fucking name?" He says, "You're not a Dune." Just like holding you down. You have the chance for one. Uh, you can try and break this grapple if you want, or you can cast a spell. But we're effectively in combat now. So you'll get a thing, he'll get a thing, you'll get a thing, he'll get a thing. He grappled you. That's his thing. What are you gonna do?
Is there even a chance for me? The breakout thing is it'd be a CMD against CMB, correct?
Yeah, so you basically try a grapple check of your own to gain control of the grapple, because then you can break the grapple as a free action. So you just try to counter grapple him, and if you're able to do so, then you get free. But if you fail to do so, then it adds 2 to the DC for next time. But you still like have a free hand. You can still grab weapons, potions, all that. Like you can't move out of the tile that you're in, but you still have like full control of your faculties. Mary can definitely hear some shouting coming through the door, faintly.
Him is just going to attempt to break out once.
All right, go ahead and roll your own deal. This is a natural 20s automatic success situation.
Not 20.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really fun. Okay, so the robes that Adun wears are like made of silk, and therefore they're much like slicker and slipperier than your normal like leather and buckle garb. And so you just like slide out of your robe entirely. You just like slip out from underneath it, and you leave the robe in the grasp of the human behind you. Kind of like over his face, cartoon style. And he's like, "What? Where'd you go?" And you are free.
Can I just like sprint out of here?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Would it just be the 60? From the 30?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then you start going up, so it's difficult terrain, 45, 50, 55, 60. Yeah, because I mean, you get there the next round, the dwarf has gotten people, and they're starting the process of coming back, but they also have their own run speeds, and you saw how big the map was upstairs, so it'll take them at least one round to get to the door, and then your next round you can get up and out of there. So yeah, from Tim's perspective, he can just run straight up, climb his way straight out, and throw trap door open and fucking, go in any direction he wants. When he does throw the trap door open, you guys are running out of light. It's, at this point, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Shadows are getting pretty long, and, you look around and you do not see Art. But you can hear a lot of ruckus coming from behind you. This is so wild. Oh
I don't really know what to do.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, we'll cut to Art real quick, who is so like Art. You made your way clear of the guards. Like you outran them at some point. They turned around and they went back to their post, or you assume they turned around and went back to their post. And from Charges's forest, like you don't see them anymore. Would you have just like gone right back? Like what would Art have done at that point?
Art, he's in Charles's forest. Um, I feel like he would assume like the people in the Woodman's Guild, Jesus Christ, I can't say that, would just stay where they're at and just hopefully not hear anything that Tim's going on. So maybe he'll go to Charles and ask for help if he can come down with him.
Okay, so you show up at Charles's tower, and
Mhm.
this is all simultaneously. Like, wow, you were running in part while Tim was doing this, but also part of this is you got a little extra time. So you make it to Charles's tower. The door opens up automatically. You guys were just there not that long ago, and so Charles, knew you were coming, and like looks. He says, "Now it's just you. You're losing all of them, my man. Where are your friends?"
Okay, look, so we ran into a little snafu at the Woodman's Guild, and basically Tim is trying to save Mary and Corbin. We found a secret hatch behind the guild, and so he's trying to get them. I tried to distract them because they wouldn't let us get Mary and Corbin unless we gave up Tim's research, which seemed really suspicious. So we thought of a different plan to try to get them back. But basically, I need your help. Things might be going awry. I'm not sure how Tim is doing. He's trying to look for them.
And Charles just kind of like blinks back at you and says, "Well, that's what the potions of disguise were supposed to be for. Would you like me to send him a message?"
Uh, no, wait, send who a message?
He said, and he shrugs. Any of them, with the, and he like points to like the back of his hand.
Um, man. Uh, come on, think, Art, think.
I think.
Um, I guess Art will just be like, okay, yeah, if you can send them a message, if you could send it to all three of them. Uh, the people in the guild are still in the tower. I couldn't get them to get out. Um, I'll be down. I'll sneak into the what's it called? The back entrance or the secret door.
The cellar door.
Yeah, the cellar door.
Okay. And as per the usual, you are hear it like really faintly in the back of your head, but the other three of you hear it, in full force. Char is talking inside your head like he does. You guys are pretty used to this at this point. And it says, "Art's here. He wants you to know that the guildsmen are still upstairs, and he'll come down to meet you through the cellar sneakily soon." That's all you asked him to say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. Everybody hears that in their head all at once. Tim, at this point, you're probably like climbing up the ladder to like escape when this message comes through. So you can do with that what you will. But I'm sorry, Art, you're still at Charles' tower.
Um, I guess Art will kind of be like to Charles. There's no way you could help us out. I think Tim had all the potions, so there's nothing really I can do.
You know, Charles is going to kind of like shrug and say, "I don't interfere with guild business, my man. That's." He says, "Most people like me well enough, but that's because I've worked hard at that." And he like puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, "I feel for you, my friend, but this is a problem you're going to have to solve."
I respect that. I get that. All right, it's up to Art to save the day, as he will then full on sprint back towards the cellar door.
And Fareed holding Miko, he like holds Miko's little arm up in like a cheering motion. He's like, "Yeah, go get him! Woo Art!" You like hear Fareed in his little like pet talking voice, and you start busting your way back to the cellar. Okay, Tim, you've reached the top of the ladder. Where are you going, bud?
He's heard that message, so he's gonna try to run and intercept her, and also just ask him for the notebook and give it up, because like really it's just cutting their losses at this point.
Okay. You start down the main road quickly, and you make it through the courtyard before you realize that those two damn guards are on the road in front of you, walking back towards the courtyard in your direction.
Am I able to take a different way so that they don't see me?
Yeah, you duck into the nearest, you duck behind the nearest farmhouse, and you hear them like come across, and you can like hear them talking to each other. Like, "I thought I just saw the other one. He was like on the road like a minute ago." And he's like, your blood's just pumping from chasing the other guy. He's like, "You're seeing him all over town today, man." He's like, "We just chased one off. We gotta get back to our post." He's like, just a minute. And they start, and you hear them start like creeping their way around the house. Are you gonna try and like hide from them? Are you gonna try and like take off? Are you gonna just stand behind the house? You can like hear the footsteps getting louder.
Take off.
Cool. Sounds good. They see you and start hollering after you, and you hear him, I told you I saw him." And the other one's like, "He's running too." He's like, "We'll never be able to catch him before he gets to Chariz's." And then you like lose track of, you can't hear him anymore. You get too far away. But it does not seem that they are like going to be in pursuit. Halfway through Chariz's forest, you basically slam right into Art. Clunk! Charlie Brown style.
Tim just like basically gets up, grabs him. It's like, we're giving them the book. It went so bad.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry, Tim. You still look like Mr. Snooty Human. So the guards would not have reacted to you at all. That's my bad. That's my beat. Because you look like Snooty Human. And Art, you bump into Snooty Human in the middle of this forest.
We'll just feel like, okay. I guess Art will just be like, okay, before you say anything, let me explain. I don't know if Tim wants to cut him off.
He's just like,
Or-
wait, what? It's me.
Wait, what?
Him.
What are you looking? Why do you look like Snooty Human?
That was the attempt to try to get into the thing, and they figured me out. And honestly, I don't know if they saw my actual face. I think we can. We need to give up the thing. I don't think we're gonna break them out any other way.
Man, this is really bad. This is really, really bad.
You couldn't get them out of there?
No, the thing was locked. I did not have the key. I couldn't do it. The two guards down there were able
Could
to figure
I
me out.
could I go down there and unlock it?
I don't think that's a good idea, considering they already know I think they know we know about the other entrance, so it's not gonna. We can't do that twice. Like at this point, I'm fine with giving this up if it means that our married before they're able to get out of there. We can be done with that.
How many guards were there?
There were two, but they called the whole force. It's considering they have a magic user, I really don't think we can do anything. Our hands are tied.
And I'm sorry, I really tried to not get you to give up your book.
You're
It's
just making
fine.
me feel bad.
If anything else, if all plans go awry, I'll try to snatch it from them. We'll book it.
Is there any way to cancel the spell effect?
Yeah, at will. You can just stop looking like Snooty Human whenever you feel like.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know his name, so I guess I can refer to him. Adun. You can stop looking like Adun whenever you want.
That's what Tim is going to do here. He's going to stop looking like a Dune and just be like, if you can, give me the book. I'll go down there myself. I'll go in myself, and I'll hand it over, and hopefully they'll still, release Mary and Corbin.
Should I stay outside? Should I go in with you for backup? Should I stay outside to be safe?
I think you should stay outside to be safe, because I really don't think you can do much, considering you can be stopped pretty quickly by magic.
Right. Should we come up with a code in case like you need to call for me?
I really don't think there's. I think anything that we do, aside from giving them the book, is going to make matters worse.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Tim, my man, props for knowing when to cut your losses. Okay. Unless you guys want to stop anywhere else, you're going to make your way back to the Woodsman's Guild. And it is like past their normal business hours. Usually it's sun up to sundown, and with the sun having just gone down, like usually they're not there, but you can see like the glow coming out from underneath the door that like the torches are still lit, and there's still like some activity on the other side of this door. As you guys walk through the door, this time there
Tim
are.
is just walking through the door.
Oh, it's just him walking through the door?
Yeah, Art's staying outside.
Okay. The door's open. Tim walks through it, and he is immediately grabbed by a pair of dwarves who were waiting inside the entrance, and there's a human and an orc standing in front of the other door. And they just they don't ask any questions. You just the door opens, they grab you. The other two like look at him, and the two guys holding you, Tim, say, "Where's the other one?"
Does Art need to come in? Does Art see this?
No, the door's closed behind Tim.
Oh, damn.
Otherwise, they just look out the door and see you. They wouldn't need to ask him where you were.
Oh, yeah.
But they're asking Tim, "Where's the other one?"
He's outside.
And the dwarf and the human immediately just walk out the other door. Art, you see them walk out. They start walking straight towards you. They're like, "You need to come with us."
Just... Art. Art's just gonna be like, oh, what happened?
It's like he said,
I,
we don't ask questions. Neither do you. Come on, come with us. We're going.
all right.
And they, they like grab you firmly, one on each arm, and they like walk you guys through through the threshold of the door, and they've like, they're like holding you guys pretty firmly, and they just kind of march you up to the desk. The dwarf is like, his face is redder than you guys have ever seen it, just beat fucking red and sweating. Kogan is not wearing his spectacles and is a little out of breath himself. And one of the humans, the human who normally doesn't say very much, is not even sitting at the table. And Adun is sitting there with no work in front of him at all, hands folded, just watching you guys get marched up to be in front of them. And one of the guys like rips through like your satchel and like pulls out your book and like puts it on the desk in front of Adun and like slides it over to him. And Adun like picks the book up and just like casually starts leafing through it. Doesn't say anything to you guys.
I guess. Or we'll just chime in and say, what do you even want with the book in the first place? We just wanted our friends, and that's it. You guys had to make this all so complicated.
And and the dwarf says, "We made it complicated." He says, "You fucking bunch of adventurers." He's like, "Goddamn shenanigans with the simple fucking requests, and you can't, and the mouthy ass gnomes, and he's just fucking like livid. And Kogan like turns, and he's like, calm down, calm down." And he like puts his hand on his shoulder, and the dwarf is just seething. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm realizing I'm not streaming my video anymore. And the the dwarf is just fucking seething, like just like staring at you guys. And Kogan's just like, and he pulls his spectacles out of like a breast pocket. He takes them out, starts like methodically cleaning them. And he doesn't say anything either. And you just kind of catch him like look up at Adun, and Adun, like stops flipping through the book, and says, "Oh right, I did promise you your friends once I had this. Uh, and he closes the book, and he like points over his shoulder at like the doors, and Tim can tell that like something magical is happening right now. You can see his mouth moving. You assume it's some kind of like telepathy or message or something. Um, and he picks up the book and he keeps flipping through it. And he says, "Ah," and he like you see him pull out like flip over the single piece of paper on his desk, which is the charcoal drawing that Tim had just given him. And you see him like hold it next to a page on the book, and he appears to be like comparing one to the other. Um, Tim, do you date your pages, your entries?
Yes.
And he flips past a couple, and he flips back to it, and he flips back a couple pages before, and reads about and he you see him stop on the page that has the drawing of the warg on it. You see him stop on the page with the ritual. He's flipping through. You see him stop on the. How much have you written about your experience at the logging camp at this point? How much of that is in the journal?
I would say like at least about the only thing that hadn't been put in quite yet was like the all of the stuff regarding what's his name, Jocks.
Jocks, yeah.
Because like that was basically they hadn't really had a chance to write, but pretty much past that everything's been detailed, or before that everything's been detailed.
So he looks through it, and he's definitely noticed he's like stopping on like the wargs, the goblins, like that's what he's looking at. But like the page on the blood moon completely blows over that, like doesn't care about it at all. And he gets to kind of like the end, and he starts flipping back through it. Mary, you and Corbin hear like a rustling outside your cell door, and then the latch. You hear the latch unlock, and the door swings open, and you can see for the first time this like space that you were in previously, and it's like this big. I mean, you saw it. It's this big chamber. There's like all these kegs. There's some like workstations in the other room, and you know, uh, there are three like large looking like tradesmen who have come down, and they're you know and they just kind of like nod over their shoulder, and they're like, come with us.
Mary, in response to that, is gonna kind of like nod to Corbin to come on over, and when they say that, she's gonna kind of look at them and be like, what was with one human dude? He like came to the door and then left. Like, what's happening?
And they just kind of shrug. A lot's been happening today. We're getting you now. That's what's happening right now. Let's go.
Okay. And she's just gonna wait for Corbin, and then once Corbin comes, she's gonna follow him.
Cool. They lead you up the stairs. Lead you up the stairs, down a hallway, and through the large double doors. Art and Tim see the doors creak open, and these three large tradesmen, one of which is the dwarf from earlier, who Tim recognizes. And they march Corbin and Mary through, and now for the first time in basically all day, the four of you are standing in the same room at the same time. Do you guys want to say anything to each other?
Mary, first off, because Tim no longer has a mustache, is gonna go, what the fuck did you do?
Today's been a really weird day. It's something we can discuss later on.
She's gonna look and be like, did you give them the journal? Like, and then
Yeah.
she's gonna look at Snooty Dude and be like, also, you came to the door earlier? What's with the jingle jangle knocky knocky? I'll be back in a minute.
I want a bluff check out of Tim to see how well he reacts to this, unless he's going to come clean right now. Those are your choices, though, basically, is you can say something or you can roll a bluff check. Because you are being heavily scrutinized by the people in the room here as the only magically imbued member of the party. You thinking, Tim? I mean, I could get live on him, I guess, but that's still a bluff check. It's just a different flavor. So
Tim is just going to say like, that was me.
And you catch some surprise in the orc's face. You mentioned his name, so I can say it. Kogan's name. I try not to use their names before you guys remember their names, so that if it ever comes up where it would help to use their names, it's kind of like on you guys. But I did hear Andreas call him by name earlier. So Kogan does kind of look surprised at this, and the snooty human, you know, points to Tim and says, "There's your answer." A botched rescue attempt, I assume.
Mary's just gonna look at like all of them and be like, okay, to clarify, while me and Corbin were in prison, you guys didn't just think, oh, they want the book, here's the book. Like, you don't got much in there, guys. I don't know if you have like porn or something in there and you were scared of it, but I think your porn does not outvalue your teammates.
You scared of it?
And she's just kind of gonna look at him, like at the snooty dude, and gonna be like, genuinely apologize. I did not realize they were this stupid. Like, I know I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
Do you guys have anything to say in your own defense?
Mary's pissed.
Uh, Art's just uh I guess Art will
Can also
say,
be an option.
huh?
Silence can also be an option.
Not for art.
Art's just gonna be like, look, we weren't sure if they were gonna use this information against us and just
Mary's gonna,
pick up.
right when he says that, it's like, what is there to use? It's a diary. Like, goblin stuff is in it, yeah. They kill goblins. There's nothing to really use against you guys. Like, oh, yeah, Tim put down that he has learned about a mean.
God damn it, I love you guys.
Not much
Becky and
data,
Jeremy,
unless,
you guys are
like,
the best.
yeah. Damn it.
Oh.
And she's gonna kind of look at, like, Snooty McBooty and be like, can we just hurry up so I can go get that goddamn artifact and be done with it? Because this is like, I must say this. I had nothing to do with this part. I understand that I threatened to kill someone. I have anger issues. And also, I did have that contract. I forgot about it. I thought he had it. We found it in my bra about, like, 5 minutes into this whole dungeon thing. But, like, can we just get on with this so I can look for the horse and get the artifact?
And Adun says, indeed. And
Thank you.
Kogan like pulls out a new contract and like sets it down in front of you guys, and you see, um, you know, you see Adun like, you know, reach underneath his, underneath the desk and pull out an empty inkwell and a like a quill, but the quill, instead of being like natural, is all like metal. It's like metal and bone, and he like pulls these out along with like a small curved ornate blade, and he sets all three of them down next to the contract, and he says, "We're going to do this one properly."
Mary's gonna look at him and be like, is this a blood thing?
And in response to your question, you know, the one of the large men standing next to you grabs your arm and like slams it down on the table. And Kogan, like quick as a flash, like comes out and just like cuts a very like shallow, you know, line in the back of your hand, and you know, pulls out the quill and like whips out the quill and like hands it to you.
Mary's gonna go, okay, let's get this over with.
And he
She's
says,
gonna do the
says,
little
"Real
blot
name,
down.
please."
I know, and just kind of do her name in blood.
Cool, sounds good. Corbin's like, "Whoa, are we? Is this? Because the last time I signed something in blood, it did not end up well for me."
Can Tim do like a check to see if he knows what it is? Like, you know, why it's all fancy and everything, if it's just like this dude has like a thing for metal and bone, or if it's any particular like history thing.
Do an Arcana check, yeah. Knowledge Arcana, I believe, is what the skill is. So it's under K for knowledge.
22.
This is something that you, because of your like personal passion project work of like your refugee work, you know, the same reason why you instinctively helped Corbin in the first place, the same reason why, you know, you knew the problematic issues with contracts and contractees and how that's really all just fancy jargon for slavery and forced labor. You know, for all of those reasons, you've done like some research, and you know, your parents were both professors at the university, and you know that anytime a contract is signed in blood, it is almost always for the purposes of creating a bond, a magical bond between the individual and the terms of the contract. And you know that this bond can vary in severity.
Tim is going to say, "May I read the contract?"
And Kogan just, not Kogan, Adun just kind of like holds his hand palm up and like gestures over the page. The synopsis of the contract is that it has a spot for all of you guys to sign, and it says in exchange for collateral, and next to collateral in parentheses it says one band wedding gold. It describes Mary's wedding ring, and also says one hand leather bound tome, property of, and it has your name and the Port Sockis like embossment that's on the front of it to like identify these items as collateral. And it says in exchange for, and you like find the terms part of this, and you see it says fulfillment of original contract for death and elimination of goblins, goblins in the vicinity of the logging camp, which you guys all know there is no logging camp there anymore, or it's a hollow shell. There's no workers there anymore. But it's it's one of the terms. You guys got to clear out, do what you originally were hired to do, and then it says bring, Adun guild, Adun, guild master of the Woodsman's Guild of Ruinswick, comma, and it says one, and it's like in quotations, item of interest relating to, and then it's like in brackets, Hadragash. Final decision on appropriate artifacts to be made by Adun, Guildmaster of Ruinswick. So it basically says finish the first job you guys had to clear out the goblins and bring him something that he deems is worth your collateral relating to Hadragash, and those are basically the only two terms on the contract.
Okay. Tim was just wanting to make sure that it wasn't like a 5-year servitude under them.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of surprised Mary just signed it, but she's also been in
Mary
a cell.
is fucking
I'm about to say
done.
she's been in a cell for a while. She'll probably do anything to get out of there right now. So I'm
On
not
the
that
note of,
surprised.
Artifact, Mary is gonna look at what's his name and be like, okay, artifact, how big we talking you need?
He's going to say, we have business to tend to first. And he's going to gesture to, the other strong man who's going to like force Corbin over, who's like freaking, like justifiably freaking out. He's like, no,
Mary's gonna
no, you can't. I won't sign it. I don't want to sign it.
Hold on. Can we leave him out of it? He didn't sign the first contract to begin with.
Did he not? I thought he signed it, Ben. I'm pretty sure he signed it, Ben. I have it in
Oh,
my
never
note.
mind. I thought he signed it.
Yeah.
Can we leave him out of it for this part, seeing as he is a traveler with us, as you know? Took hand. He ain't doing much.
He's going to say, the choice is yours. He can sign a contract, or he can sit in the cell until you return.
Mary's gonna look at Corbin. Which one you want?
I'm not signing anything. I'm not signing anything. He's hysterical.
Hold on. One moment. And Mary's gonna kind of look at him and pull him down, like yank the robe and pull him down and get face to face with him and smack both her hands on him and like look him in the eye and say, buddy, look at me.
Like gains hold of himself for just a second. Just terror in his eyes.
This contract is just to make sure that we kill all those goblins and get them an artifact. They are not putting you in perpetual slavery. And she's going to look at Anduin and say, correct, you are not trying to force a slave contract, a permanent slave contract.
He says, that is not this guild's business.
See? And she's going to look at him and be like, and to understand the contract, we go kill the goblins that were bothering the one camp, and we get you an artifact of Hadragash, and then we come back, correct?
He says, assuming your artifact is worthy of the collateral I've collected, absolutely.
See, buddy? They're not in the slave trade.
Just like I do for the goblins, Corbin's going to roll a morale check. and he did not pass greatly, but he did pass. So he like calms himself down, and he's like I still don't think I can do it. He says I think I'm just gonna wait here for you guys to come back. And he kind of like
Okay.
looks over at like you guys as a group, kind of sheepishly.
Mary's gonna look at Onwin and be like, "Can you at least put him in a nicer cell, not with the shit bucket? Like, just let him sit here. He's not gonna be doing much."
And Adun looks at him and says, "If he has some skills, we may be able to put him to work. Yes."
Okay, buddy, you can mop the floors and like chop wood. I think you'll be fine. We'll be back. Okay.
He just kind of shakes his head nervously. Art and Tim, you guys have not signed yet, and your guards are kind of corralling you up to the table.
Yeah, our Tim was basically ready to sign once he read the thing.
Cool, sounds great.
So is Art.
Sweet. And I was told that 9 o'clock needs to be our end time tonight. It is 9:03. You guys have just signed a contract in your own blood, agreeing to some terms in your own names. After a real fucking whirlwind that was almost a jailbreak. Like real close. There were a couple of just real unfortunate coincidences that stopped it from. But I think that Tim rolling a nat 20 to escape the grapple in the nick of time to get out of there was also pretty fucking lucky. So you definitely played with both ends of the luck scale today, guys, for sure.
Yeah.
No, that was good. I like that one.
Oof, I gotta get going.
Cool, that's fair. You guys go ahead and get going. I'm going to wrap up stream. I will not be offended if you are not here when I get back. But thank you guys for playing, and I will catch you guys next week.
All right, no problem. Thank you again.
Cool, no
See you
problem, guys.
next week.
See you next week. Later.
Yeah.
Okay, Becky, no problem. Thank you for stopping in on the stream while you're working. I know that you are working just ungodly long hours today and tomorrow, and I am very sorry to you for that. I do not work very long hours anymore. I don't have very much money, but I don't have to work very long hours either. So there's that. I still have another hour to go. Yeah, that's sometimes, especially because you're an hour ahead of me. So it's it's 10 o'clock where you are, and you're gonna go till 11. That's ridiculous, man. Okay, but I have the two of you. Is it just two of you? Are there more? Who do we got? I got two. I think it's two of you. Let's raid Murderdactyl again. He was cool. That overtime, though. Yeah. Bertodactyl. Great. All right, guys. We're going to raid Murderdactyl. The video will be up on YouTube probably in the next 2 days. And I got a couple of clips as well that we'll go and put up, too. So take it easy. I'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Bye! What? Raid!
We're collecting
This might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
here to continue the work you started.
No. What you're doing here.
We're helping Madeline find herself.